Sometimes, very rarely, after a victim reports their sexual assault and the suspect is identified, it's rare, but it does happen. The suspect will retaliate in some shape or form, whether it's witness intimidation, stalking, harassing, phone calls, text messages, uh, drive-bys. It could be anything, but it does happen. If that happens, call law enforcement, call the investigator that's been helping you with this investigation, call your advocate, make sure that gets documented. How do you stop it if that continues, if that happens? How do you keep these guys, these gals from stalking you once they've been identified as a suspect? A restraining order is an option. Again, it is just a piece of paper, but it's an important step to get that documented, because to obtain a restraining order, you have to document what happened, what gave the court the authority to issue that restraining order and restrict this individual's freedom, specifically coming around your circles. And in that, you have another form of documentation and a court backing you on it. If this person shows up at your door and you don't have a restraining order against that individual, the police are pretty much powerless. They have nothing they can do with this person just standing at your door. On looking at it from the outside, usually they're there to intimidate for some that they have no business being there. But unless you have that restraining order, you're really limited as an officer what you can do to protect that individual. If you get a restraining order, it's not just as simple as having it in your hand. There's a few steps you have to have once you've obtained it, such as if you live in Los Angeles, you have to make sure that LAPD has a copy, that specific jurisdiction has a copy on file of that restraining order. You want to make sure that you have one in your car. You want to make sure you have one at your place of employment, at your kids' babysitters. It's just, without that document in your hand, it's very difficult for law enforcement to do something with it and enforce it. So if you're traveling between cities, if you're employed between cities, you want to make sure the law enforcement agency at that location has your restraining order against that individual on file.